In this video, I interview my friend IT3 Calhoun, where she explains what the port calls were like on a 270 and what you can expect. So stay tuned. What was your port calls like? And what are the port calls like? What types of places did you get to go to, and what is that like being at a port call?
So, don't do anything stupid when you're at a port call.
Yeah.
A lot of people, because you're stuck on the boat for at such long periods of time. When you get off the boat, you're just like, I want to be free. Don't do that.
Lots of people get in trouble.
Lots of people get in trouble at port calls. Make sure you're behaving and still conducting yourself in a military manner. You may not be on the boat, but you can still get in trouble.
Yeah, you're still representing the Coast Guard wherever you go.
Yeah, I mean, you want to have fun, you want to relax, just make smart decisions. Look out for your shipmates. Please look out for your shipmates, but also protect yourself. If you see something, say something.
So what type of places did you get to go to?
I went to Gitmo. I went to Mexico. I went to Panama. I briefly went to Honduras. It wasn't for a long time. And Costa Rica. I went to Costa Rica.
And you did all of this in one patrol? Or?
No, these are over. Oh, well, actually, yes. So you'll have multiple port calls in a patrol, but a lot of them for us were repeats. So we go to Costa Rica every time, or we go to Gitmo every time,
And you were on the cutter for 9 months. How many times did you get underway?
I went on I believe it was 2.5 patrols.
2.5 patrols.
2.5, yeah.
And so you got to go some pretty cool places.
Yeah. Oh, it's nice, but you're not allowed to do certain things. Like you have what they call, I believe it's red zones, so you can't go off in certain areas that they've said you can't go to, and then you also have certain things you can't do, such as we weren't allowed to like do jet skiing and stuff like that, just in case we got injured. We weren't allowed to do that. I did go zip lining, which was fun.
In Costa Rica?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're on port call, what's kind of the rules for? Because you're in another country, there's got to be probably some rules that the cutter has. Could you just like go out, spend the night wherever you were, or did you have to come back, or how does that work?
Yep, so you're able to get a hotel room. So they say if you're at a port call and you have like 2 or 3 days at that port, you're able to get a hotel room. You're able to stay off the cutter. If you have watch, you have to be on the boat when you're on watch. You're allowed, if you're of age, you're allowed to drink, but you're only had to have a drink an hour, and it's only three times in that night or a day. There's specifics.
I'm sure that everybody follows that rule.
Everybody abides by that rule. You're allowed to drink, but you have to be of age.
So the rules of the land don't apply when you're somewhere else.
So
I think that used to be a thing, whereas like if you were in a country like Costa Rica where the drinking age is like non-existent, you used to be able to just abide by the rules of the land, but now
you have to follow the Coast Guard rules.
You have to follow the rules still in the U.S.
Yep. So despite whatever their laws may be, wherever your port call is, you still have to abide by U.S. laws. So yeah, if you want to, whatever they'll usually have like some kind of type of tour guide. Like when we go to Costa Rica, there's a guy and he has like all these events and that you can go to. So there's usually stuff, and people usually have been on these to these port calls multiple times. So they'll be like, hey, you can do this and you can do that. But there's a lot of stuff you can do.
So you're still on that same watch rotation. So it's got to kind of suck when it's like you've got watch and you wanted to maybe go somewhere, or do something, and you can't now because you have to go back to the boat.
Yeah.
Are you able to like trade with people? Does that happen?
So you can swap duty, but you have to fill out a chit to do that. And usually you got to find the right person, because most people are gonna be like, no, I don't want to be on watch today. They're gonna go do this or we're gonna do that. So you just have to find someone to swap with.
Yeah, because that'd be like, I'll take your Costa Rica trip this time if you take my next.
Yeah,
next
if I'll take Mayport, Florida for you if you take Costa Rica or something.
Yeah, some people do that.
Yes, they'll trade. Yeah, people are usually nice about it. They'll trade.
And you can go. Is there like a distance you can only go Because like if you get Mayport, Florida, I'm sure that lots of people might want to go to like maybe Disney or something, or like kind of go. Are you only allowed to go a certain distance from the boat?
I believe so. I don't know what the distance is, but you do have to be near the cutter because you don't have any type of curfew. Actually, sometimes they do give you curfew. You do have to be back at this time or whatever. But the day that your boat is supposed to get underway again, you have to be back by a certain time. So you will have to be near the cutter for that.
Were you ever on the cutter when someone missed the boat leaving?
No, I don't think anyone's ever missed the boat leaving. That's never been an issue. No one's ever missed the boat. Now, people have done really dumb stuff. People have gotten injured. People have gotten in trouble. Make smart decisions.
Yeah. What would you? How would you say like every port call someone gets in trouble?
Not every.
Or like every probably every time you get underway.
Yeah, there's usually a masting. I wouldn't say it was often, but there were about 2 or 3 mastings before I left my boat.
So can you share like one really cool experience about being underway, and then one experience that it's like that was pretty bad?
I guess being in port calls, you get to go to the different port calls. You get to experience the culture, see new land, new places, meet new people. So that was a really good experience. I did enjoy it. I loved taking pictures of the sunrises and sunsets. There's some, yeah. And then you'll see dolphins in the water. I saw a lot of turtles, a lot of random lots of trash.
Do you get to do swim calls?
You have swim calls that I did not enjoy.
No.
I don't like open water. I don't like water, so that's stereotype. You have to jump off the flight deck. I'm afraid of heights. You have to jump off the flight deck, and the flight deck's like all the way in the sky. And I climbed down the ladder. I climbed off the ladder on the fantail.
How often would you do port or swim calls, you think?
I think we had 2 port calls.
Two
swim calls, yeah. I think there were 2.
The whole time you were there?
I think we had one maybe every patrol, maybe.
Every patrol, you'd have a swim call.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But it's up to your captain. It's at their discretion.
And then what's one experience that is just like, oh man, this sucks being on a cutter?
It's a very tough environment to be in because you're with the same people for 3 months on a patrol. So after the first 2 weeks, it can get very like tense. It can be a tough environment. It's
like high school almost.
Yes, it's like high school, tit for tat.
You go in there, maybe you're really excited. You're like, okay, we're gonna go to do some cool things, and it's like, okay, it's not that bad, but you're underway for 2 or 3 months, and then it starts to like
people want to go home. They get irritable, they get frustrated. People's fuses start to get shorter and shorter.
The food starts getting degrading.
Oh my gosh, you run out of food. Your RO may break down, or you may be in a port where you can't take water, so that means you can't take showers, you can't flush toilets, you can't wash your clothes. Like there's a number of things that happen, and you know.
So it's like things kind of start getting progressively worse
as you go along.
As you're underway. And
because
it becomes more challenging for the boat and for the crew.
Yep, and then you want to go home, and then there may be an instance where you have to stay out of the water longer. So your scheduled date to return may be the 25th, but then you get pushed back a week for whatever reason. Like for us, we had the hurricane, so we had to stay out an additional 4 days, and everyone was just like,
And you can't tell anybody where you're going, and you can't say when you're going to come back home. There's things that you're not allowed to share.
Well, your family can know when you return, but you're not supposed to tell them your location.
You can't tell them which port you're at, or not. You can't tell them which port call you're at or anything.
Until you return. You're also like when you're at a port call, you're not supposed to be on social media posting pictures or like tagging your location or anything like that.
Can you do that after you get back?
Now, when you get back, you're able to post whatever pictures you took. Yes.
Thank you so much for sharing your experience. I know that I've been really wanting to do a video just about what it's like being underway on a bigger cutter because my friend we just did a video not too long ago where he was talking about what it's like being on a smaller cutter in '87. So it's really nice to be able to share what it's like being on a bigger cutter, because it sounds like it's a really different experience, different Coast Guard. You know, myself, I was at land units, so I was at a small boat station and an ANT, so I had a very different experience at both units. And then being on an 87, it sounds like it's also a very different experience with the small crew. You know, very very tight knit, family oriented. And then being on a 270, where you have just like lots of people, hundreds of people. Oh, is it multiple, like a couple hundred?
It's like, I would say about 120.
120 people. Lots of people, you know, and you're underway for a long time. It can be a long time. Very different experiences being in the Coast Guard. So thank you so much for sharing this. If you like this video or you have any other questions about what it's like being underway, leave it in the comment section down below. I'll also include my friend Angel's Instagram. You can send her a message. You can also leave a comment, and I can also ask her. If you like this video, guys, give it a big thumbs up and consider subscribing, because this channel is all about sharing the best military tips and money-saving hacks. Until next time, guys, peace out.
That was awesome.